Dangin Nira, Pruten Uframevna, Eb Alalalfa. Lesson 12. Prepositions. The final basic part of speech that we haven't discussed yet is the preposition. Prepositions are words used to describe locations or the time an action took place or other relationships between nouns that aren't described by the 5 basic cases. Some basic prepositions of place are ati, on, oli, in, uvri, on the side of, krad, off, geri, under, agdi, over, tatu, near to, yedu, next to, Ikolu, far from, Kamru, outside of, Sami, around, Smhol, through, and Newtu, across. To use them, simply follow them with a noun in the nominative. For instance, Uvri nen humnaka means on the side of the house, or Yedu gungola means next to a rock, or Smhol nen bifta means through the window, or Agdi nen bava means over the dog. To use a prepositional phrase in a sentence, merely tack it after the relevant noun or verb. For example, nen hebrisa oli nen humnaka legritek nen spane agdi nen fisra means the boy in the house watched the bird over the tree. Notice that this implies that the bird is over the tree. If you wanted to say that the tree is between the boy and the bird, and the boy is looking across the tree to see the bird, it would be nen hebrisa oli nen humnaka legritek newitu nen fisra nen spane. If you want to describe a movement to or from a location, you need an additional preposition, either sit, to, or zul, from. You put them directly after the main preposition. For example, letos oli sit nen humnaka would be I'm walking into the house. Kelus kamru zul nen humnaka would be I'm running out of the house. Let's learn a couple more place nouns. Sopurka, building. Gnoma, temple. Yangrula, castle. Kahada, river. Iba, bridge. Vodera, ocean. Granadra, mountain. And Selfa, city. And also a couple more movement verbs. Firurmoi, to swim. Sudoi, to fly. And Vonagoi, to drive. For example, Vonagos sinubande olisit nen Selfa would be I'm driving my car into the city. Or nen spana suditek kradzul nen Granadra would be the bird flew off of the mountain. Or Firurmom Newtu nen Kahada would be you're swimming across the river. Another handy preposition is ulu, which means of, indicating possession. For example, nen bava ulu nen hebrisa would be the dog of the boy, or the boy's dog. There is also the preposition neb, which has no equivalent in English. It is used in cases where no physical relationship exists between two nouns. For instance, to speak or write in a language, you have to use meb. If we define Helikoi as to speak, then Helikos meb nen Dangin Nira would be I'm speaking in Dangin Nira. There are also many other uses which will be discussed in later lessons. Now that we know all these prepositions of place, we can introduce a new question word, Elel, where. This can be substituted for any locational prepositional phrase. For example, Elel nen risa firurmok would be where is the man swimming. Note that if he's swimming at the surface of a body of water, you use ati. For example, nen risa firurmok ati nen kahada. The man is swimming in the river. If you said nen risa firurmok oli nen kahada, that would mean he's a ways underwater. If you're using a preposition with sit or zul, you have to put that before elel. For example, sit elel kelom, whither are you running? Or zul elel nen spana sudok, whence is the bird flying? Now the question words beginning with a are just one part of a larger group of words called correlatives. The next group of correlatives you will learn about are called demonstratives. In English, these are the this and that words. in Dangin Nira, you swap out the e for a ta. For example, Elel, where, becomes talel, there. Or esta, who, becomes tasta, that person. Emma becomes tama, that thing. Emin becomes tamin, that kind. Enebin becomes tanebin, that person's. Eldu becomes taldu in that way. And erif becomes tarif for that reason. These ta words follow all the same rules as the e words, but you don't bring them to the front of the sentence, and they don't make the sentence a question. For example, if you ask, Esta kelos olisit nen gnoma, who is running into the temple? You could answer, Tasta kelos olisit nen gnoma, that person is running into the temple. Or if you ask, Enebinu gungole mapatetem, whose rock did you throw? You could answer, Mapatetem tanebinu gungole, you threw that person's rock. Or if you ask, Eldu nen spana sudok Geri nen iba, how is the bird flying under the bridge? You could answer, Nen spana taldu sudok Geri nen iba. The bird in that way is flying under the bridge. Notice how taldu goes before the verb because it is not an adverb ending in org. There are two more demonstratives. Words beginning with yeta connote nearness, such as yetama, this thing, or yetalel, here, or yetasta, this person. And words beginning with ikota connote farness, such as ikotalel, yonder, or ikotama, that faraway thing. In review, we learned how to use prepositions, listed here. We also learned how to use these prepositions to indicate movement using sit and zul. We learned a new question word, elel, where. And we learned about the demonstrative correlatives, beginning with ta, yeta, and ikota. Review this new vocabulary, then move on to the next video.